You are Sir Graham, the bravest and most honorable knight in the troubled realm of Daventry. King Edward the Benevolent, aged ruler of Daventry, has summoned you to the castle for reasons unknown.
Greetings, Sir Graham. The King is expecting you. Allow me to escort you to His Majesty's throne room.
Thank you, Sir Knight.
Raise the portcullis.
I am at your service, my king.
I am an old man, Sir Graham. Perhaps too old to carry the weight of this crown. My bones ache, and my hands tremble. I am afraid my time on earth grows short. But enough about me. Great misfortunes have befallen Daventry since the loss years ago of 3 magical treasures. I have chosen you, the finest knight in all of Daventry, to search for these lost treasures. Only then can this kingdom be restored to its former glory. And only then may I rest with the knowledge that my people are safe. The first treasure is a magic mirror that foretells the future. The second is a magical shield that protects the bearer from all mortal harm. The third and last is an enchanted chest that is forever filled with gold. I know that what I ask is difficult, nay, perhaps impossible. The dangers are many, but you are brave and pure of heart. That is why I chose you to volunteer. If you succeed, you will inherit my crown and rule the realm of Daventry as her rightful king. Go, Sir Graham, and know that the fate of Daventry lies in your hands.
Take heart, my king. I shall not fail you.
You have selected to play with dead ends enabled. The game will play exactly the same way as the EGA version of King's Quest I, Quest for the Crown. This deep swampy moat is patrolled by vicious serpents. The castle walls are carpeted with a thick tangle of vines. These guards protect the king's castle. These stone-faced guards must have been trained not to converse with anybody. They ignore you, Sir Graham. A sturdy stone bridge has been built here to span the moat. Massive turrets from which the guards can defend the castle stretch to the sky above. You see a large gray rock. With a small shove, you manage to push the rock a few feet, revealing a shallow hole underneath. You reach into the hole and find an intricately carved dagger. You carefully lift it out, being careful not to cut yourself. It is a large rock. There's a shallow hole in the ground where the rock used to sit. This is the biggest oak tree you've ever seen. Its trunk seems to be about 10 feet around, and the thick, sturdy branches look like they could hold many times your weight. Finding plenty of footholds in the coarse bark of the tree, you easily clamber up the trunk to the branches above. You're too far away from the nest to see it clearly. There is a perfect, shimmering golden egg lying in the nest. You carefully lift the golden egg out of the nest. This is a serene mountain lake with a small beach of pebbles on its edge. On the beach are some smooth, round pebbles. You grab some pebbles. Wandering along the banks of the beautiful lake, you see a cute little elf. That's strange. You should get a little closer to the elf. That's strange. 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 You don't get an... The elf is impressed by your friendliness and responds by handing you an elegant little ring.
I've had me eye on ye, Sir Graham. Methinks you might enjoy this little trinket. For just a wee bit of time it has the power to make ye invisible. May it give ye as much entertainment as ye has given me this day.
With that, the elf vanishes. Lush pine trees ring the lake. On this side of the lake, the banks are low and rocky. Small bushes like this one thrive near the fresh lake water. This is a well-tended carrot patch. The carrots look tempting to a hungry traveler. This weathered old bucket has served the kingdom for years and years. It still holds water as well as it did on the day it was made. The old bucket disappears into the darkness. Beautiful shade trees abound in this part of Daventry. You peer into the darkness After seeing how far it is to the bottom, you think twice before jumping in. After you are in the old bucket, your weight causes it to slowly descend. Nothing happens. Nothing. You manage to take the bucket. That's There's not much to do there. You are too far away to see clearly. You kneel down and fill the bucket with the cool water. Green and scaly, the dragon is massive and muscular. Serrated armor stretches from its tail to its neck. His leathery wings are folded against his sides, and his webbed claws look sharp and deadly. The ferocious fire-breathing dragon is protecting the magic mirror. The mirror shimmers with its own magical light. This boulder is a huge chunk of granite. Good shot! The water hits the dragon square in the face, dousing his fire. Unable to defend itself with anything more than harmless clouds of steam, the dragon rolls aside the granite boulder and slinks off in shame, leaving the mirror behind. You take the magic mirror. Congratulations! This boulder is a huge chunk of granite. That's strange. This boulder is far too heavy to move. The entrance leads back outside. This is a large, apparently vacant cave. Damp and cool, the cave is lit only by the sunlight streaming in through the cave's entrance to the west. With a screech and a cackle, a witch swoops down from the skies above. Look out! She dips and turns and tries to catch you. With a screech and a cackle, a witch swoops down. The door is made from chocolate. The path to the front door is lined with little gingerbread boys and girls. There is no answer from inside the house. Yum! The house tastes even better than it looks. Yum! The house tastes even better than it looks. This is the most marvelous house you've ever seen. It seems like it's made of a huge gingerbread cupcake with frosting for a roof. The chimney is made of gummy bricks. The door is made of chocolate. The fence is made of candy canes. And sourball stones and gumdrops are scattered around the yard. The path to the front door is lined with little gingerbread boys and girls. You see a note on the table by the bed. You grab the note. The witch's bed looks hard and uncomfortable. As the green liquid is terribly goopy, the fire must have been burning underneath it for quite some time. It's just a stool. The cabinet on the wall is rather plain and simple. In contrast to its delightful exterior, the inside of the gingerbread house looks dark.
I can smell someone tasty in my house.
This ugly old witch is one of the most hideous sights you have ever seen. Her eyes are dark and evil, and her crooked smile twitches hungrily. She's not to be trusted.
I'm going to get my cauldron ready to cook someone for dinner. Yum. After I get the cauldron nice and hot, I'll be ready to have someone for dinner.
With a mighty shove, you courageously push the wicked witch into the pot. Her wild screams are suddenly cut off as she melts away into the oily green slime. Congratulations! You take the cheese from the cabinet. There is a message written on the note. Sometimes it is wise to think backwards. This is the crude wooden fence that encloses the goat and his trough. There are numerous beautiful trees ringing the goat pen. These rocks must lead to some sort of underground spring. You remind yourself to explore their nooks and crannies sometime when you don't have so much work to do. A small mound of rocks sits by the lake. This is a beautiful little lake. Lovely fruit trees have blossomed early this year.
Gentle Sir Graham, I am your fairy godmother. Your quest is indeed noble. What little aid I can offer you is this protective magic spell, effective for but a short while. I shall be watching over you, Sir Graham.
You pluck a plump orange carrot from the ground. The goat is wandering this way and that, exploring his little pen. You need to be inside. Very clever! You tempt the goat with a carrot, and he begins to follow you around. You've made a friend! You had better wait for the goat, or he may not follow you. It is an old stone bridge, worn smooth by the ravages of weather and time. Off to one side is a clear blue lake surrounded by a pretty meadow. A swift river flows into the lake. You see lush plants and bushes throughout the kingdom of Daventry. As you start to cross the bridge, a huge, hulking troll stomps into view and blocks your way. It is a well-known fact that goats hate trolls intensely. You move aside and let the goat take care of this wretched, nasty troll. The goat lowers his head and runs straight for the troll, butting him right off the bridge and into the river below. That's the last you'll see of that troll. There are many beautiful trees around Daventry. If you wish to cross the bridge, Sir Graham, simply walk over it. You see a wizened old gnome sitting in front of his house, whittling. The gnome's house is carved right into the side of the tree. This is a pile of gold. This is the gnome's spinning wheel. There is a small pile of straw here.
Welcome, Sir Graham. I've been expecting you. I have something that will be of great use to you. But first, Sir Graham, you must answer this riddle. I'll give you 3 guesses. What is my name? That's right! Outstanding! I didn't think you were that clever. As a reward for your sharp intellect, here are some beans. They're no ordinary beans, but it's up to you to find out why. Somebody as smart as yourself should have no problem at all. Well, step over here so I can give them to you. Here you are. Good luck on your quest.
What a pretty bed of wildflowers! What a You plant the magical beans in the fertile soil. Suddenly, something incredible begins to happen. This mighty beanstalk stretches up so high, it vanishes into the clouds above. You are already climbing the beanstalk. Be careful.
Ye best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell of mine has weakened and departed.
Thick, puffy clouds can be found everywhere you look up here, as you might expect. You are in the land of the clouds. It is rumored that a giant lives up here. These weirdly shaped trees tower over you. The colossal, weirdly shaped trees loom far overhead. The immense, oddly shaped trees loom over you. There is a small, dark hole in the base of this tree, but you need to get closer for a better look. You reach into the hole and find a leather slingshot. The enormous giant has been carrying that heavy chest for longer than he can remember. The giant is getting tired of looking for you. Seems like he may be getting ready to take a nap. Good job! The huge giant, tuckered out from stomping around, has fallen fast asleep. The giant is asleep with a chest lying next to him. There is a chest near the sleeping giant. It is not a good idea to wake a sleeping giant. Slowly, carefully, you take the chest without waking the giant. From outside, you can see the entrance to a cave carved into the side of the mountain. This is a heavy oaken door set into the side of the cave. As you reach out to open the door, a huge wooden door has been built into the base of a steep mountain. You notice a large keyhole in the door. The huge door is locked. You can't open it. Next to you is an old fallen tree trunk. It's crumbling and rotted and holds no interest for you, unless you have a fascination with termites. From here you can see that the stump is very old and rotting away. A dark hole at the top catches your attention. You can just see the northern edge of a nearby lake. You should look into dark holes before putting your hand down them, Sir Graham. From here you can see that the stump is very old and rotting away. A dark hole at the top catches your attention. It's you, Sir Graham. Inside the rotting stump you notice a small leather pouch. As you lift the pouch from the stump, you feel its contents shifting inside. When you peek inside the leather pouch, you discover it's filled with diamonds. This is a serene mountain lake. In the woods to the north, you can just see what looks like an old stone well. The roots of the trees are entwined around this craggy cluster of rocks. This is a There are craggy rocks scattered around the forest. You hate to think of what's underneath them. These small, twisted trees make the area seem very strange. Suddenly you hear the heavy footfalls of an ogre. He stomps into the clearing, spots you, and decides to crush the life out of you. This large, healthy tree is chock full of plump walnuts. These are just 2 garden-variety pine trees with nothing to offer but shade. The squirrel seems hesitant about climbing its favorite walnut tree with you standing around. There's a large walnut tree surrounded by several pine trees. You choose a big, meaty-looking walnut from the bunch scattered around. When you open the walnut, you discover the nut inside is pure gold. There appears to be some sort of bowl sitting next to the tree. pick up the bowl. Inscribed on the inside of this empty ceramic bowl is the word fill. There are an endless variety of trees in Daventry. None of the ones you can see here seem the least bit unusual. The old cottage is sagging and in great need of repair. It was made from rough, hand-hewn logs long ago. Lately, the upkeep has faltered. There are even holes in the roof. An old axe is permanently wedged into the tree stump. The handle has been broken and repaired. The head shows the signs of many sharpenings. It is an ancient, rusty water pump. It probably doesn't even work. Just walk over there. Just walk. The woodcutter speaks to you, his voice broken with sorrow.
We would welcome you to our home, Sir Knight, but we've had no food for so long. My beautiful wife cannot even rise from her bed. I fear she may die soon.
A large fire burns merrily in the fireplace, providing some warmth in the drafty old cottage. An old earthenware pitcher sits on the table. There is a rickety old cupboard on the wall. The woodcutter's poor wife appears to be near death. The woodcutter sits on the edge of the bed next to his wife. Ever since the woods became too dangerous to venture into, he's not been able to earn a decent living. To your astonishment, something begins to bubble up from the bottom of the bowl. Within moments, the bowl is filled with a hot, savory stew. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing nothing, 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 nothing. This large ceramic bowl is now filled with a savory beef stew. You dip your finger into the stew. It's still hot. Nothing. The woodcutter is overwhelmed with joy.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Knight. We shall never forget your kindness and generosity. Please, take my fiddle as a small token of our thanks.
The woodcutter's most treasured possession, a fine old fiddle, lies on the table. An unusual clover glistens in the middle of the patch. You pick a large four-leaf clover from the patch. Lovely fruit trees have blossomed early this year. There's no With a mighty leap, you grab hold of the condor's talons. Don't be afraid. Get closer. There is a hole in this part of the meadow. Plenty of thick, healthy shrubbery grows here. A large bulbous mushroom grows in the meadow. You pick the mushroom. This is just one of the many leafy bushes growing throughout the countryside. Far in the distance, you can see the spires and turrets of King Edward's castle. This is a wild and perilous, raging river filled with jagged boulders and treacherous rapids. This is a wild You are standing in a shadowy cavern. This cave is murky and damp and smells of mold and rotted leaves. These rock formations were slowly created over thousands of years. There is a single torch on the wall, illuminating the shadowy cave. This is a big, hungry-looking rat with slavering jaws and long, sharp claws. It looks like a sturdy old door.
Come a little closer. I can't reach it. That's right, mister. Just walk a little closer. Cheese, eh? Well, yeah, now that you mention it, I guess I am kinda hungry.
The rat drools at the sight of the cheese and snatches it from your hand. You might want to count your fingers. Oh no! There are two leprechaun guards here, and they don't look pleased to see you at all. What are you going to do now? Nothing happened. The fine old fiddle has been beautifully carved. Nothing. 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 Wonderful job! Leprechauns find fiddle music irresistible. The moment they hear the music, they begin dancing a frenzied jig. Finally, swept away by the snappy music, the leprechaun guards zap right out of the room. Overhearing the fiddle music you played in the hallway, the leprechauns have begun to dance. As they do, they pop away in a fit of merrymaking. The shield is made of titanium and is rimmed with jewels. The scepter is fashioned from gold and silver and accented with emeralds. This is the throne room of the Leprechaun King. This is a rather simple stone throne upon which sits the Leprechaun King's jeweled scepter. This is the throne room of the Leprechaun King. There is a scepter and shield near the throne. You take the magic shield. Congratulations! Please don't move the carpet. It hides the dandelion wine stains on the floor. Please don't. You take the Leprechaun King's jeweled scepter. The small hole leads to the outside world. You shouldn't drop that, Sir Graham. Perhaps you should. You eat the mushroom. Congratulations! You now have all 3 of Daventry's lost treasures. Now, don't waste any time. Bring the treasures straight back to King Edward before it's too late. An extremely large jumble of boulders sits in the center of this heavily wooded area. At the base of one, you see a small hole. You notice a small hole. The portcullis is the only entrance to the king's castle. That's odd. Why aren't the guards at their posts? More curious still, the courtyard is deserted. This area is usually filled with the ladies and lords of the castle. This is highly unusual. You begin to feel deeply disturbed, as if all is not right within the castle. You can faintly hear a commotion in the king's chamber to the west.
There is nothing to be done. Oh, our king's melancholy is too much for us hot to bear. If only Sir Graham had returned with the 3 lost treasures of Daventry.
It's Sir Graham.
He's returned.
Did he find the treasures? Shh. Listen.
Your Highness, I am at your service.
Did you succeed in your quest?
I did, Your Majesty. Here, as you commanded, the magic mirror, the magic shield, and the magic chest.
I'm afraid it is a little too late for me, but you have done superbly, my knight. As I promised, the crown is yours. I know you will serve this kingdom well.
The king is dead. Long live the king!
Long live the king!
And thus ended Sir Graham's quest for the lost treasures of Daventry. Despite the loss of their beloved King Edward, the people of Daventry grew happy and prosperous for years to come. And whenever King Graham looked into his magic mirror, he saw visions of adventures yet to come for him, for his children, and for Daventry, the land he loved so much.